from Bommarito, St. Peter. Hey, this is Reese from Bommarito, St. Peter's. Just wanted to test this thing out, see how it works. Kind of cool. Bought a microphone and bought some other stuff just to see how it works out. I have no idea what's going to happen here. So I'm at home. I'm on vacation this week. So you see behind me the house stuff. I'm not at work. Can't do this at work. So I actually sell cars like everybody else. But hey, Mercedes-Benz G-Class, what's up? How are we doing? This is really weird. So this is out of my element. So I'm trying this out here. If this goes well, we'll figure out question and answer type things on, hey, where's the SEL Premium Atlas? I'm doing great. Where are you at? Mercedes-Benz G-Class. It's pretty cool. Texas. Yeah. I wish I was there. The weather's probably better. So just testing this out. I'll do more of these later, but I do field a lot of phone calls. On the refresh 2021 Volkswagen ID4. Are you referring to details on the ID4? Hi, Brandon. 2021 Jetta SEL Premium doesn't get a whole lot of upgrades, just doesn't. It stays the same. It'll get the new radio and wireless CarPlay, so you'll have that stuff going on. And 818 Tally, 2021 Tiguan's are out. Even though you're in LA, you should see them at a dealership there. There's dealerships all over with those. If you check around, that's all they're building and that's all they're shipping. So the 2021 should show up. The updated stereo for that 2021 is in the SE and SER line and above. So you won't see that in the S. Emilio, I wish I had more information on the ID4s. I know that Volkswagen's sending out emails this week for the additional $400 deposit. You guys hear me okay? Do I sound echoey or anything? We don't even have an SEL yet, 818, but we have some at port. So ours are coming. So they're starting out with the S and the SE first. And I think everybody in St. Louis got at least one SER line. So the SER line Black Edition was kind of one of the first ones they sent out. We have more coming. We sold ours almost immediately. So you should be seeing an SEL probably in 2 weeks or so. Brandon, I would tell you that I would prefer the SEL Premium because I'm a fan of creature comfort. So I like the ventilated seats. Beats audio is really nice. The 10 color light setup or ambient lighting for the Jetta is on point. But it's leatherette, it's not ventilated, and you do also get navigation with the SEL Premium. So that's pretty cool. That's where my favorite lands. The GLI, I don't think is going to get fog lights. 2021 is going to be just like the 2020. I don't see them doing fog lights anytime soon, especially now that they're doing so much of an LED switch. Everything's getting LEDs, and it's a rumor that the 2022 will go 100% LED on the headlights on the Tiguan. So they're kind of getting away. If the Atlas is any kind of indication, they're getting away from fog lights. 818 Tally, what do you have right now? Mercedes-Benz G-Class, I think you'll regret getting the Terrain. The Atlas is going to be on point. Terrain is a GMC product. Oh, you have a Terrain. I read that wrong. Sorry, buddy. But the Atlas is where it's at. I own an Atlas. Absolutely love the thing. We've had it for 28,000 miles. And the thing has just been absolutely flawless. Love it a ton. Hazim on the, I hope I pronounced that right, the 2021 Passat is going to be exactly the same, more the same. The difference is with the 2021, they're probably going to have CarNet already in those cars rather than it being an available later type thing like it was for the 2020s. Gerald King, hello there. The Arteon, we're only getting one so far this year. We're getting an SEL Premium R-Line as a 2021 in Urano Gray. As soon as that sucker lands, it just landed at port in Houston. As soon as we get that, I'll make a video of that one and you'll be able to see that one. But Arteon just doesn't sell, at least in the Midwest. It's just, it's a lot anchored. Pricing on that car is a little prohibitive, and people who are cross-shopping that car to maybe an Audi don't tend to like that engine that's in that car. It's not powerful enough. And that just touches on Volkswagen kind of watering down what the technology they put or engines they put in the cars when they come to the States. I have not driven a 2021 Crossport yet. They are not available at our dealership yet. We just had our first 3 built this week. As far as I know, there's not going to be a change visually on that car. It'll look exactly the same as a 2020. It just is going to be a 2021 with the new radio, the new tech. Also, there's going to be a new interior color for 2021 called Stone Blue. I'll be excited to see that. You're welcome, Gerald King. Okay, Brandon, on the 2021 new features on the Jetta, features are going to be that radio, that MIB3 radio with the gesture controls, wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM 360L. That is going to allow you to pause and rewind songs, which is kind of cool. Other tech that's coming on the Jetta, I'm not really aware of anything else that's changing other than the Jetta S is getting rid of those, what lots of people call those ugly wheels that look like hubcaps. They're getting the Jetta SE wheels, which are the same wheels as the Jetta S, just they're machined and painted black. But now the Jetta S will get those. Other than that, there's not, oh, and everything gets a USB-C connector now instead of the regular USB that you're used to. The 2021 Passat Hazim does not look like it's going to get a digital cockpit. The GTI doesn't get the digital cockpit either. So digital cockpit fans, the only thing that I'm hearing that's different is the 2021 Arteon is going to have a digital cockpit, I think, in all trims. That's SE, SEL, and SEL Premium now. I'm not 100% sure on the SE. I'll have to look at my notes again on that. But also, the 2022 Tiguan is rumored, if the US gets what the Europeans are getting, we'll have a digital cockpit in every single trim, including the S on the Tiguan. $314 J-Rock, man, I agree with you. I wish that the US market would get some of those performance cars like the Tiguan R. Would absolutely sell amazing here. Yeah, there would be a lot of people that would balk at the price tag. It's probably going to be a $45,000 to $50,000 car in the U.S. as an SUV, but the Tiguan just doesn't do it for everybody. It's great on the body style, functionality, just the performance isn't there. Golf R engine in a Tiguan just sounds absolutely amazing. Also, the Arteon R sounds absolutely amazing. Again, we know that price tag is going to be a sore spot for the American market, so they won't bring something like that here. I would love to see a V6 turbo in an Arteon. That's what I would like to see. Yeah, Hazim, you're absolutely right. Not a lot of people want sedans anymore. However, our dealership was really weird. We got what we thought was too many Passats. We got 25 Passat shipped to us in a 3-week period, and we went on a tear and sold 8-9 Passats in a row, which is absolutely amazing. Lots of R lines. R lines are what everybody wants because those wheels is just a good looking car. But oddly enough, we're selling a lot of SEs as well. And all of the SEs we got, none of them had sunroofs. No one cares. They just want a sedan. They're going to these other dealerships and they don't have sedans anymore, so they come see us. Now, guys, I will say this. We are getting a bunch, and I mean a bunch of 21.5 Atlases built. We have almost 30 of them built for us, and they're sitting at port. They're holding them. They're not releasing them yet. But the 21.5 Atlas is, if anybody's in the market for an Atlas, is absolutely worth the wait for this 21.5. It'll have the gesture controls. It'll have the wireless CarPlay. It'll have all of those features. Plus, it's still the same redesigned Atlas, or refreshed Atlas. That's the word I'm looking for. The refreshed Atlas that we just got for 2021. SEL Premium R lines do exist. I get a lot of calls from all over the country about SEL Premium R line Atlases. I have 5 deposits on SEL Premium R lines that we're getting. We're getting 14 of them through an allocation. Somehow we got lucky to get them built for us. So we actually have 14 coming, and I have 5 of them sold already. The MK8 Golf, the Golf R, excuse me, that we don't have a confirmation on. So all of those news clips and stories you see about the MK8 Golf R being revealed and it's 315 horsepower and all that, that's all fine and good, but we don't have confirmation that that's coming to the US. I've already had a customer ask me to put them on a list and wants me to take his money for a deposit, but we just don't know yet. So we have no idea when that's going to happen. Let's see here. 818, the Jetta's coming with the black package as a limited edition. Volkswagen could only hit it out of the park by doing that. I wish, and I don't think there's any plans to do it, that they would come up with a black edition for the Tiguan, or sorry, not for the Tiguan. They already have it for the Tiguan. Keep that one. They have it for the GLI Autobahn, but they need to do that on every single model of car they have. Could you imagine an Atlas Black Edition? You'd never find them. They're so rare. Same with a GTI. Well, there's news on that too. The SE GTI and the Autobahn GTI for 2021, still an MK7.5, will have black wheels. Oh, I'm sorry, the SE will and the S will. The Autobahn will have a different wheel. But the black Pretorias, we know them as Pretorias. If you've been around long enough, they're still around and they come back. Yes, I would absolutely love to see a Jetta with a black edition. I would love to see an Atlas with a black edition. I would love to see, I'd love to see a black edition on everything. And they need to make more of them. The product mix, they just never get right. We always sell out of the car that's the hottest, the fastest, if that makes sense. Hazim, it depends on what you want in creature features. The SEL, if the SEL Passat is where you need to be, that's going to give you Fender premium audio, which is great sounding, and real leather seats and heated seats. Still no ventilated seats, but they're real leather seats. They're heated front and rear. You get that remote start, all that stuff for you. That's a great car. But if you just like the wheels, you like the look of the car, I would go with an R line because you're going to get a sunroof either way. The audio system in the Passat isn't terrible. The R line has I've never heard of a bad radio system in a Volkswagen, never. So I'm not too concerned about that. But if you have to have Fender premium audio, you have to have power folding mirrors, then go with the Passat SEL. But there's the R line is good enough. Let's see here. I'm sorry, guys. I'll get better at these. I promise. I'm just kind of reading. This whole dynamic is kind of different for me. Hazim, on the Tiguan LEDs, 2022, supposedly we're getting those. So there will be 100% LED headlights and taillights on every Tiguan all the way through. Anybody else got any questions there? Yeah, not until 2022, 818. However, my suspicion is that 2021 for the Tiguan is going to be a short build year, kind of like they did the 2018 Jetta, where the 2022 Tiguan may be out. Now, I'd have no source to back this up. It's just a hunch, just because of some of the things I see internally on websites and things with Volkswagen through the corporate website. But it looks like there's a 2022 that's going to come fairly quick. And I would guess June or July, we may see a 2022 Tiguan. And that might be around the time that the Taos comes out. I don't have information on Taos. And then at that point, we'll have some selling months under our belt on the ID4 as well. Guys, I will tell you on this MK8 Golf R, I'll be honest, I am not a fan of the headlights, but they're growing on me. The car itself, I can't wait for it to get here to try it out, the 315 horsepower, but we just don't know if it's coming or not. They haven't told us anything. Let's see here. Hazim, which SEL are you referring to? At Lithia, Volkswagen in Des Moines. Okay. Passats, right now, discounts on Passats are pretty steep. They usually are this time of year because we're going to model year end. They just started sign and drive. But I've seen as high of a discount as $7 grand off of a Passat before. I haven't seen this year, but I've seen that in the past. And what that does, unfortunately, when they do those discounts, those deep discounts, though, it also adds into the algorithm. And then when you go to trade that car in, it's not worth a whole lot. But the discount, man, if you can get a $32,000 car for 27 or 20, $26,000, that's a steal. 818, I agree with you. T-Cross, the United States. I don't think Volkswagen claims they understand the American market. I don't know that I 100% am on board with that. However, they did hit it out of the park with the Atlas and the new Tiguan because they're selling like crazy. But there is a segment of the American market that they're absolutely missing when it comes to people who care about horsepower and Hemis and just dual overhead cams and just all kinds of different performance issues. They're missing that whole mark. And I think that's the German engineered part of them that does that. But hey, they're the largest manufacturer in the world. They do some things, they do things really well. They do some things really right, and other things they just miss the mark. I would love to see the T-Cross here because it's already a proven car. I would even love to see the Polo here. And in all of those cars, my idea with Volkswagen would be, if you're questioning the process of bringing that car to the U.S., then build a limited run of them, just like you do the Golf R. In my opinion, in a perfect world, we'd still have a Touareg in the U.S. You do 3,500 of them a year and distribute them as an order-only type process. Golf R, 3,500 a year, order-only process. Polo, 3,500 a year, just make it an order process. I don't understand. I would do a test market. I would do a test market for all these cars and see how they work, how they do in the U.S. market. I've seen the ID4. I think is going to be an awesome car. This is going to definitely change the game when it comes to electric cars and how people look at electric cars. The Nissan Leaf was an ugly, ugly car. when it first came out. The redesign, much better. The Prius, not the cutest car in the world, but it's a hybrid. Volkswagen did have a hybrid. That's where we get the 40 mile per gallon engine from. The 1.4 was a hybrid engine for the 2016 and I think 2015 Passat. I'm sorry, Jetta hybrid. There was also a Touareg hybrid way back in the day. I wish Volkswagen had kind of stayed with that a little more because our cars didn't look like everybody else's hybrid. They looked like regular cars still. So the ID4, I think, is really going to level the playing field. People who couldn't afford a Tesla are going to buy these. And a Tesla was a really, really hard car to sell used because you couldn't get the tax credits or anything of that nature. I think with Volkswagen, though, I think this is going to be huge. The ID4 is going to bring this to the masses. The ID3, I think, might somehow make its way to the U.S. market later. The ID Cross, I think, would be another good one for the U.S. market, and definitely the bus. The electric bus is going to turn the U.S. market on its head. It absolutely will if Volkswagen does it right. Volkswagen has to get it right, though. The waiting list on that car is going to be incredibly long. I just know every hippie, every person who was alive for Woodstock and had a bus when they were growing up in their college years is going to want one of those cars. Absolutely. My favorite Volkswagen any year. I had a GTI, a 2016 GTI. It was a GTI SE. That was the best car I ever owned, best daily driver. And I've owned a Civic Si before that, long before that. But a close second would have been a car. I didn't own it, but it was on our lot when I worked at a different dealership. It was a Beetle R-Line stick shift. It was a 6-speed Beetle convertible R-Line with black and red leather seats and those tornado wheels. Oh man, that thing could get up and go. That thing was fun to drive. That was probably one of the most fun cars. I'm reading that wrong. Oscar Mejia, Atlas, unfortunately, but I don't think it's going to get any better on mileage. It's just that engine and that car and the weight of that car. I don't see it being an issue for them to improve the mileage on that unless they go with a hybrid, and a hybrid probably isn't going to add much more mileage or MPG to that car. I do foresee them eventually getting with it and putting a larger gas tank on the Atlas. But other than that, it's such a winner with them. I don't see them changing it much. There's a lot of people that come in and say, "Oh, the mileage isn't that great," but they buy the car anyway because the car, it sets apart the looks of the car, and it just sets it apart from so many others in the class. First car for VW, it depends. If you mean a first car for like a kid, maybe a teenager or something like that, definitely a Jetta all day. A Golf, Golf is just small, but I would say a Jetta is probably the best. And the Jetta, especially now with that body style, it's bigger than it used to be. It's got ridiculous gas mileage. I mean, 40 MPGs, and I drive mine like I stole it. And driving it in sport mode or manual mode definitely helps me think about my GTI. That thing has enough torque and enough get up. I can still make that thing go. Azim, you've got I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You've got a 2012 Jetta S. I'm guessing that's probably a 2.5 engine, the 5-cylinder. That engine is pretty bulletproof. That engine, they put in everything. They put it in the Jetta, they put it in the Golf, they put it in the Beetle, and they put it in the Passat for a while. 2012 was the first year for that 5-cylinder engine in the Passat. And I mean, it has a definite sound, a unique sound to it. You can tell it. My neighbor across the street has one, and you can tell when it's a 5-cylinder. It's pretty nice. So guys, the 2021 GTI, I have this guide here. It just tells me what the differences are on this thing. Cornflower blue comes back, which is really, really nice. Cornflower blue is what they did on the Rabbit, and now it's going to be on the GTI as well. And I said something wrong earlier. I said that the S and the SE are going to get the black wheels. It's only the SE. The S will get the Dallas wheels, and the 18-inch Belvedere with summer tires comes on the Autobahn. So they're building that car with the Autobahn. They're building the Autobahn with those wheels, I should say. And it's a pretty good looking wheel. On paper anyway, it looks good. We haven't got one yet, but we're getting a cornflower blue GTI built for us, and it's going to be at our dealership probably in about a month. What is a half Atlas? I guess you're referring to the 2021 and a half. Hazim, the 2021 and a half will have the new radio. That's the tech, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. It'll have something called emergency assist and travel assist on the two highest trims. They're modified lane assist and adaptive cruise control features. Oscar, I think you're talking about the Amarok. The Amarok is not going to come to the U.S. as we know it. I've heard stories that there's a tariff. There's some type of tariff that makes the cost of that car cost prohibitive for them to import it. They did, I don't know if you remember, but they did have an Atlas concept called the Tan Oak, which looked amazing, but it kind of went away. And then also, I've heard that our little alliance with Ford may generate a truck built on a Ranger platform. But those are all things I've heard. I have nothing to back them up. And that stuff doesn't always come to fruition. .818, I wish they did do more color combinations. I wish they'd get a little more aggressive with the color choices. Passat and Atlas come from the same plant, yet they don't share the same interior colors sometimes, and I think that's kind of like a head-banging kind of moment. For instance, in a Passat R line, like a 2017 or 2018 Passat R line, you could get a color called Moonrock Gray for a leatherette seat. Never made it to an Atlas. In a gray Atlas, the same outside color, you can only get a black interior. The Shetland beige is a really light color. Jeans, it doesn't like blue jeans, and it doesn't like ink pens. Those two things are not good for Shetland interior. Yeah, Hazim, Volkswagen is an amazing car brand. They do have a lot of stuff going on, and it blows people's minds to understand when they wrap their mind around the fact that they own Audi, they own Porsche, Bugatti, Bentley, Seat, Skoda, all those different brands. And I didn't say that right, Skoda. But all of those different brands and Ducati motorcycles. It's just crazy. And everybody seems to have, and I notice you guys do too, everybody seems to have a story about an old Volkswagen, something, an old Beetle, old Jetta, maybe an old Rabbit, or even a Cabrio back in the day. My foster parents had a diesel Rabbit, and I remember that car because it had black soot marks where the tailpipe was that blacked out the tail light on the right side. So we had black tail lights before it was a thing. So that was kind of cool. Hazim, I have a Jetta R line, a 2020. I share that with the wife and my daughter. My daughter's 17, so it's kind of, she has to have a car that she can drive, and it's okay if she dings or something. It can't be something big. I can't have her driving the Atlas everywhere, so we got a smaller car. You had a Jetta Wolfsburg 2.0T with the DSG. Yeah, the DSG is, I think, the best transmission out there. So guys, tell me where you guys are from. I can kind of tell. I guess an 818 is 818 area code, but that's California if I remember right. That's it. I might be wrong. That might be Chicago area. I'm not sure, but it'd be kind of cool to see where you guys are from. And I think I've got this set up where this thing is going to be saved on there on the page, so you guys can see it at some other point too, and the comments are there. Let's see. I drove it. 314 J Rock. The GLI, yeah, you'll go back to the GLI over a regular Jetta any day. Any day. The Autobahn is where it's at. Beats audio, it does the trick. It's not Fender audio. I think Fender audio is slightly better than Beats audio because you have individual controls for the subwoofer, except in the Passat. You can't do that in the Passat, but you can do it in the GTI. You can do it in the other cars that the Fender stereo system's in. Oh, and that reminds me, the Atlas, I'm sorry, not the Atlas, the Arteon, the SEL Premium R line that we're getting will have Harman Kardon audio. So now Volkswagen's using Harman Kardon. So I think that's going to be something to see as well. Hello to California and St. Louis. 314 J Rock. What's a J for? That's not you're not a Jayhawk in disguise, are you? I went to KU, so don't hate me. North Hollywood. Wow, that's pretty cool. 818, what do you drive now? And Oscar, where is Whittier, California? Is that Northern California or Southern California? You got a Jetta SEL. That's a nice car. Now, as a 17, did you have the LED running lights and xenon headlights on that one? Oh yeah, that's a good look. That was my wife's favorite car in blue, with the little dots, the LED dots around the for the running lights, and then it had the xenon headlights. Yeah, that's a good car. Well, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up for a little bit. But what I want to do, this was a test. I wanted to see how this went. So I'll go to like 3:30. But I will end up scheduling these and doing these. I'm on vacation this week, so I figured why not? I'll try it out. This is kind of cool. But I'll be a little better prepared for another one. So I'll schedule it, and you guys can do something on here. It says that I got it set up where you guys can do a super chat, where you can have comments and have them go to the top and be highlighted or something like that. I'm going to try that out, see what that does. But guys, this has been fun, and I'll do more of these. And since I'm on vacation I'm looking up in my calendar, 2, 3. I got 4 more days. I may do one tomorrow. I may do one the day after. So keep an eye on the channel. And if you guys aren't subscribing, please subscribe. And if you got someone that's looking for a Volkswagen, tell them about the channel. Let them know. Send them my way. If you guys have any questions at all, you know my phone number. I say it all the time. So I'm not going to say it. But you guys have a great afternoon. And who knows, I might even do one later on tonight. But I'll post it earlier beforehand, so it's not like a spur of the moment kind of thing. But I think this went pretty well. So save up your questions and give me a shout out. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.